Today's topic is coffee. Coffee is, in my opinion, one of the most elevated beverages in the world. So I'm really questioning why I'm doing this today. But well, you have to do what you have to do. But I want to start simple. As you can see, I'll just flip my camera a little bit down. I prepared several bowls and cups. And as you can see here, faintly in the background, mayo. It's regional store-bought mayonnaise. Oh boy. So officially, hello, welcome to my coffee tasting of Kyoko Kuremi's coffee blends out of Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Thanks for the follow. Okay. We start with normal coffee. Why? Because I need something to help me, you know? You know me, I drink a lot of coffee on streams, and I always get some between the episodes. And I want you to learn a little bit about coffee. So, it's fairly important to know what I am using today. Because Kyoko uses coffee available in Japan, which differs quite heavily from the coffee we get here in Middle Europe. I have here 100% Arabica beans. So there are two types of coffee, you might know this, Arabica and Robusta. And, well, coffee is one of the most elevated beverages in the world. Why? Because it's one of the most complex drinks, rich and flavorful beyond expectations. So, in this small bean, there are so many flavors contained, which is a really complex stuff. You can't really pinpoint it out. It's on eye level with stuff like wine or beer or champagne, so high class beverages in the world. And let's talk a little bit about the history while I sip my coffee. There are several myths of coffee, but one of the most important stuffs I want to mention is that coffee comes from the Middle East. And a couple of hundreds of years ago, when Austria was still an empire, great times, we fought a war against the Turks. And we lost. We lost almost every war we participated in, so yeah, it's kind of sad. So, but the Turks brought us coffee. They had the beans with them. And during that time, the only way of drinking coffee was boiling it in water. Full stop. So if you know Turkish coffee, it's just boiled coffee powder. And in Vienna we developed new ways of drinking coffee, filtering it, blending it with milk and sugar. This is important, so you know terms like latte macchiato or cappuccino. Well, all those drinks were invented in Vienna, not in Italy, in Austria. Yeah, they just developed. No, they had a better marketing. That's all. Okay, so short history. Why I am connected to coffee, because I live in Austria. And we developed coffee blends. So, which beans do I use? I told you I use Arabica beans, which are more flavorful than the other ones. And they are medium roasted. And also, yeah, fine grinded. It's a fine grind and medium roast. So it's rather strong coffee I use for my blends, which is high quality. I would say it's on the upper side of the quality stuff here. Okay. So, blends. Why do people blend coffee? Mix it with other stuff. Well, to get rid of the bitterness. Coffee is fairly bitter and has a lot of other flavors people don't really like. So they add milk, cream, or sugar. This makes the coffee less bitter and tastes a little bit richer and, well, finer. In the game, we learn that our girl, our boss, Kyoko Kuremi, which works as a cyber sleuth, drinks an own creation. Which is coffee with mayonnaise. With mayo. So I have here 200 grams of mayonnaise. And I have here 200 milliliters of, I don't want to, so, freshly brewed coffee. This is the most common drink Kyoko offers you in the game. And it's just for, well, entertaining reasons. The game wants to be funny and showing the reactions of all the characters and the protagonist. And the protagonist faints. He or she blacks out after tasting one of Kyoko's creations. I hope for myself that I won't suffer from this fate, so I prepared myself with bread and a sip of water. A sip of water should be fine. So, the first blend is really important because it's the normal ratio. Kyoko calls it the golden ratio, which is somewhat the measurement for all my coffee blends I will try today. The ratio is 2:1, so 2 parts coffee, 1 part other stuff. And I have here 200 grams mayonnaise, so I will now add, I don't have a podest, so I'm just flipping down the camera a little bit. So, I have here my coffee and the mayonnaise, and I will add half of the mayonnaise to my coffee now. Just trying to get half of the mayonnaise, and it goes in. So, it is important to mention that the mayonnaise is room temperature. It's not cooled. No, it's not cooled. And the coffee is also a little bit on the cooler side because we need emulsion to happen. And we hope so. Just let it to rest a little bit while I taste the mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, as you might know, is a really simple ingredient. And I have something in my beard. Containing eggs and vinegar and mustard and stuff like that. So, we have a problem. Because we have eggs within our blend. And egg yolks are rich on fat. And everybody knows what happens when you add fat to water. It doesn't really mix that good. So we wish for an emulsion. And normally we would need an emulsifier. So something within the whole stuff that connects, which I can say it binds the fat so that it can connect to the coffee. You can help your coffee by watching the temperature. So if both substances have the same temperature, the mixing progress is a little bit easier. The problem is, we still don't have, I just give it a little stir, we don't have an emulsifier within the blend. So we have really delicious crumbly coffee now. crumbly coffee. One thing you could add as an emulsifier would be mustard. So you can add mustard so that you have one good mix. But the problem is I don't want to alter the recipe of Kyoko. And also in the game, it's not that it's 100% mixed. It's really just one drop, one spoon of mustard, of mayo in the coffee. So, this stuff looks horrible. Great. We will have something later with this one. And this will do much better. And I will tell you why. So, but as I mentioned, I want to show you the original blend, which is not emulsified. It's just a little bit mixed, so you can see the light brown color. So it's partially mixed. But the fat of the mayo, so the fat of the egg yolks, well, it gives us a hard time combining the two. So, I will later mix this with mayo, so it's not a big deal that I mix it. So, oh god, I have here the horrible blend. My prediction. What does this stuff taste like? It doesn't smell that bad. It smells fairly good, to be honest. Because coffee is a drink that is really suitable for blends. Because you can get rid of some flavors within the coffee to elevate the other flavors. You know this in Starbucks, for example, with all those aromatized, all the coffees with aroma, for example, vanilla or caramel or ramazzotti with alcohol, all those coffee blends, not just latte macchiato or cappuccino, and they are fairly good because you can. Oh god, maybe it's not really that good. So, coffee is suitable for blends. The problem is you need to find tastes and flavors which are combinable. And we have mayo, which is a little bit sour, heavy, it's fatty, it's rich. And you have the vinegar and the eggs. And the mustard, which is the main body of the flavor, combining with the complex flavor of... Oh god, I hate it. Okay, I give it one sip. Okay. This is weird as crap. I don't know if you can see that I really drink it, so I will take another sip. Oh. Okay. How does it taste? It tastes like coffee with mayo. Oh god. Okay, let me describe it. You start with a disgusting feeling on your tongue. It's such a disgusting flavor on the tongue. It's horrible. But when you shake it a little bit within your mouth and get the taste everywhere and add a little bit of air by breathing in, and when the blend is complete, so you just have one liquid in your mouth, it starts to get better. It starts to get better. But the initial the initial taste is so disgusting. But it gets better in the end. I have to admit, in the aftertaste, when you swallowed the bite or the stuff, you gulped it down, then it becomes faintly better. The problem is, gosh darn it, what stays behind? I really almost at the point where I could vomit. So, because of the thing that stays behind. Because when you have the mayo within the drink, it lets your mouth stay with a film of mayo and fat. And that's because all the ingredients within the mayo that are, well, compatible with liquids, water, are down. You swallowed it. But the small petals and the small chunks within the coffee, and this is one thing Kyoko added in her game in the voice lines, the chunks are important. The chunks are pure fat. So you have this film of pure fat with a really disgusting feeling to it, staying in your mouth even after you've swallowed everything. And this is horrible. So, even though it is technically acceptable to drink when you do the emulsion perfectly, so you don't have chunks, but you need another ingredients for this, then it might be a drinkable beverage. But this stuff as it is now with the chunks within it, no thank you. So, one another thing is, when you have roasted coffee beans, like those Arabica beans I have here, I have an original espresso machine in the kitchen, which grinds the beans itself and then brews fresh espresso, which is really good. The best thing is, you can eat coffee beans. It's the perfect snack when you have a foul taste in your mouth and you just want to get rid of a foul taste. Then you just gulp down, chew it good, and then you have a fresh coffee breath. And it also gets rid of all bad tastes you might consume. The problem is, all the shelves of the bean stay in your mouth. And this is also the reason why Vienna, back in the day, invented a filtering system for coffee. So, the coffee filters, they come from Vienna. Because they only had the coffee beans, and they knew, okay, the Turks somehow drink it. And Turkish coffee is not filtered coffee. So you have all the bits and pieces of the grinded coffee beans staying in the coffee you drink, which is not really pleasant, but really intense in flavor. And so Viennese people added filtering to their tools and invented filtered coffee. And they also added milk to it, as I mentioned earlier, for blends. Okay. So, what do we have here? It's the bowl you've seen earlier. And this is something I prepared. This is heavy cream with hazelnut flavor. It's another blend. Kyoko calls it something like a next level, an improvement, of course, yeah, an improvement to her recipe. And this is hazelnut flavored creamer. I made it myself, using a tablespoonful of grinded hazelnuts, and then added to 200 milliliters of heavy cream, brought it to a boil, and then quickly take it from the oven. Take it off the oven. So this is hazelnut flavored cream. This is really, really high class ingredients I'm using here. Because hazelnut flavored cream is so good. It's so delicious. It's so elevated. The problem is I'm using it with mayonnaise. So, but now it's just more poison. It's an argument. It's an argument. The coffee of Kyoko, really. The problem is the mayonnaise. Because I tasted the hazelnut flavored cream, it's delicious. The problem is I'm going to ruin it again with mayonnaise. So I have my room temperature mayo here. The thing is, how much am I going to add? Because we stick with the golden ratio, okay? So we have 2 parts coffee and 1 part additional stuff. I just put this maybe a little bit away. So, we have additional stuff. I can use more creamer, or I can use more mayo. I will start with 1. So this is 200 milliliters, and this is 100 gram. So we can use all of this and half of this bowl to get to the to come to the golden ratio. I don't want to do this for reasons, because the mayo is horrible. So I'm adding half of my bowl. And this should not be a bigger problem, because this is just coffee with cream now. So we have small chunks because I have the mayonnaise on the spoon. So those small chunks you can see are from the leftover mayo. But just drinking the coffee with the hazelnut flavored cream is so good. And the hazelnut flavored cream is good. So now I'm going to add the mayonnaise. I'm not using all the stuff because it would ruin the golden ratio. So I'm using half of this. So 50 grams of mayonnaise to this. And off we go, ruining this perfect beverage. So, the thing is, we now have cream within it and hazelnuts. So, I will push it a little bit. One small advantage is that the heavy cream and the hazelnuts kinda help with the emulsion. So we don't have that many chunks. But it's not the best blend. You could use other stuff to help with the emulsion, like a good spoon of mustard or other stuff, just to get rid of the chunks. You could also use a blender, which helps you, but it just breaks down the chunks into small pieces that you can't recognize it, but it doesn't combine it with the liquid. This is a problem. The thing is, Kyoko never mentions any other ingredients and techniques. She just puts the stuff together and serve it to you. Okay. So I can't use any techniques I would use for the emulsion. Okay. Good. So I have it here. You might see the chunks. Technically, this has to be better than the previous thing, because it's a little bit not that dangerous because of the cream. The cream helps a lot. But here we go. I'm really scared of the feeling of the chunks on the tongue. Oh god. Oh god. I have bread and water. Okay. It is not better. It's not better at all. Gosh darn it. Okay. How to describe it? The problem is it's not the taste, which is horrible. It's the feeling on the tongue combined with the small sour shots of the mayo. You know, we have vinegar and egg yolks. The egg yolks doesn't matter, it's just fat, which helps the chunks staying together. The problem is the vinegar. The vinegar within the mayonnaise, those are these sour shots on your tongue when you break the chunks with that. And as I mentioned, you gulp it down, you swallow it, and the fat stays in your mouth. And now we added heavy cream, so it's much more fat. Heavy cream is literally just liquid fat with milk. So lactose and fat. I really like heavy cream, whipped cream. Oh, this is a close one. I almost felt it. I almost felt it. But I will have another shot, because maybe it gets better. Oh god. I need my bread. Okay. It really is the feeling when you swallow it. Breathing. Bye. I will not continue this mug. Okay. So, what happened here? You have just much more fat. The hazelnuts doesn't do anything. They don't do anything because it's too weak of a flavor. You have the talking is difficult. You have the flavor, the strong flavor of the coffee. In the background. But it all gets killed by the mayo. And the cream makes it even fattier. Okay. Okay. So we are not yet done. I have prepared 2 other creations out of the game. One blend is not invented or was not invented by Kyoko. It's a Mirai's blend. You know, Mirai is the woman in the Digilab with her 2 cats. And she also shares one disgusting taste with Kyoko. So, she invented her own blend. Using mayo. Again, our star player here. Our star player store-bought mayo. Perfect. She also adds soy sauce. Again, this is German, so it's called soja in German. It's soy sauce. The next ingredient is ketchup. It's ketchup. It works with the mayo though. And the last thing is something I couldn't get here in Austria, which is red bean paste. Red bean paste, you might know it, is a Swedish paste used in Japanese cuisine. So you have often some desserts, and dough products, so dairy products with red bean paste, which is sweet. But I couldn't get one, so I use red chili paste. Kill me. I will die from this, so I bought red chili paste. Why did I choose red chili paste? This is important because of flavor. When you imagine your tongue, you have different zones on your tongue receiving flavor. So everybody knows it. And the tip of the tongue is sweet, then you have salty, sour on the sides, and bitter in the back. And umami is somewhat-ish in the middle of the tongue. This helps because it gets the blend a little bit more spicy. Just to counter all the other stuff. So, again, let's have a look. I have here my kitchen scale. Oh god. I need another bowl of something. Okay. We stick with our golden ratio. So 2:1. So we have to fit 100 grams of substance. So the bean paste and the soy sauce are not the main bodies of the ingredients. The main bodies are ketchup and mayo. So how do we get there? I think I should use 40-40-20. So 40-40-10-10 should help with the ratio. So I am adding. I like ketchup, it's good store-bought ketchup. And I will use 40 grams of ketchup. Okay. Somewhat-ish 40 grams. Oh god. You know, I really love Kyoko. She's one of my most favorite characters in game. But her tastes in coffee, and although I really love coffee, it's horrible. I need a little bit more mayo. Just to make it as disgusting as possible. Oh god. Yeah, the problem is I finished Cyber Sleuth last week, and on my YouTube channel the final episode aired today. And tomorrow 6 p.m. Central European time, I'm starting Hacker's Memory. So this is the intermezzo, if you want, just between the two projects. So now we add the red chili paste. I should just taste it. Oh god. Ah! This is horrible. Oh god, this is hot. This is hot. Okay. This is extremely spicy and hot. Which is good. I hope it destroys the mayo taste. And soy sauce. The problem is soy sauce is really intense in flavor. So I just add a little bit. Okay. I'm preparing myself mentally. So this is Mirei's blend. I just substitute the red bean paste, which is sweet, and the red bean paste wouldn't do anything within this, because red bean paste doesn't really taste that much. It's a really weak flavor, so you wouldn't taste it. Quite the same as the hazelnut stuff. It doesn't matter at all. So by using the chili paste, I add a new level of flavors to this disgusting crap. Okay. So, okay. I will give it a shot, because I guess that this tastes fairly good. You could use this for meat dishes, for example beef or pork. And I guess this would taste really good. Yeah. This is really good. I personally would add a little bit salt and some fresh herbs to this. And then you have a really good sauce or dip for barbecue. This really is really good for barbecue and heavy meat dishes. It's just, it's spicy, it's hot, it's ketchup and mayo, which is typical for barbecue. And the soy sauce adds a little bit richer, salty flavor. And I add this beautiful barbecue sauce to my coffee. Okay, it's a little bit much coffee. Before it mixes together, you know, I have to stop it. Yeah, the problem is I ran out of mugs, so I had to use a smaller one. Okay. So again, we have the same problems. We don't have an emulsifier within this mix. So, God bless me. You know, the problem is in Digimon Cyber Sleuth, at the end of the main game, you see the protagonist sitting on a wall, drinking coffee with mayo. And so you kinda liked it at some point. Okay, we have again the same problem. The fat within the mayo won't bind with the water of the coffee. So we have the chunks. Oh, it's your first time playing it. Yeah, it's just at the end. And I just say that you get used to it at some point. Sorry, I didn't know that. You don't know the stuff. Well, I didn't tell too much, did I? Yeah. It's just at the end of Cyber Sleuth. God bless myself. I'm scared. This looks disgusting. Oh God. Oh God. I prepare my bread. My water. I mean, if you just look at it, or look at this. The color of it. It's, oh my God. Well, it's a really good sauce, the dip for barbecue. Just don't put it in your coffee. You know, I'm almost vomiting just by smelling it. I need to prepare myself. This is horrible. I hate you, Mirai. I hate you. Damn it. I had 1 gram of this blend. And this stuff is designed to make you vomit. Oh, God. How does it taste? This is legit improvement of the previous stuff. 200% of it. Yeah, sure. No. I will have another sip later. But now I'll just taste. So it's an improvement of the previous taste. Because you have all the bad tastes of the previous stuff. But much more intense. No, Paul, I hate you. Just do it yourself, upload it to YouTube, and send me the link. And then we talk. The problem is, the flavor is now much more intense. And I need to stir it a little bit, maybe it gets better. The thing is, you have the sour bits and bites hitting your tongue from the chunks of the mayo, combined with the more intense soy flavor, which is just disgusting. The thing is that the chili paste doesn't really help much. The problem is I need 1 more sip just to taste it. I hate myself. Safe. Safe. And now I will never taste this stuff again. The good thing is, I am trained in resisting vomiting. This is a skill I never thought would be useful, but it helps. Okay. We have one last blend I want you to show. So with my last mug of coffee. I'm going to use the last thing mentioned in the game, which is some sort of Italian coffee. So for this Italian coffee, which is it's a joke on itself, you know, because yeah, Italian coffee. One core ingredient is tomato paste. It's normal store-bought tomato paste, which is pretty delicious on its own. And you can add it to sauces and to other stuff. Or you can add it to your coffee. The good thing is there's no mayonnaise in it. So, just adding the tomato paste. Okay. The color gets much more red, which is interesting. But logical, because we added tomato paste. I hate myself. This even tastes more disgusting than the other stuff. And you can garnish it with bacon. So I have here prosciutto, Italian prosciutto. I won't dip it in the coffee, but I have fresh basil leaves, and in the description it's called just for garnish reasons. So you would just let it stick on the corner of the mug, something like this, or you can just add it in. I won't dip the bacon in it because this is horrible, and no, I just eat it. It's good. But I leave the basil within the mug because it adds to the flavor. Okay, this final beverage is technically better because you don't have the sour notes of the mayo. But we have tomato paste. Tomato paste is not really sweet, but has some sweeter touches. It's more on the sour salty flavor side. The problem is I can smell it, you know. I can smell the mug and the ingredients of the mug, and it doesn't really help. So you need to give me a second, because I need to prepare my stomach, because I almost vomited twice in the last 20 minutes. And I'm not yet safe. So I eat a little bit of bread, drink water, and prepare myself, because this stuff smells even worse. No, it doesn't smell worse, but it smells as disgusting as the previous one. Speaking is difficult because I'm almost at the brink of vomiting. So you need to give me 1 minute. Let me talk to you about coffee. Coffee itself is one of the most popular beverages in the world. Just because there are tons of varieties of coffee. So you can add flavors, you can add milk, but you can also use it in the cuisine, French cuisine for example a lot, or Italian cuisine, especially for desserts. For example, tiramisu you can do with coffee, or you would do with coffee. There's coffee ice cream. There is cream for cakes, so a cake cream with coffee flavor. So coffee is a real flexible ingredient. The problem is you don't want to mix the beverage with other stuff besides milk and sugar and flavors. Why? Because why does this taste so bad? Normally you would say, okay, mayo is not that bad. And coffee is not bad. So why brings your coffee with mayo almost to the point of vomiting? Why is it? That's why, or the reason why this happens is because the coffee intensifies parts of the mayo and vice versa. So you destroy the inner balance of the beans and the coffee by pushing one flavor to the extreme. And this really heavily pushed flavor is the thing your tongue and your whole body can't handle, because the experience is too much. And the body says, okay, something that strong, something that intense cannot be healthy for your body, so don't drink it. Stuff that is disgusting is meant not to be eaten or to be drunk. That's a biological safety switch within your body. For the people who still try this, okay, you won't die from it. But when your body says, "Oh my god, this is so horrible," the only thing is to evacuate your stuff and just get rid of the stuff. It counters your behavior with vomiting, just to protect the body from stuff it should not be consumed. That should not be consumed. The same was with the banana and Sprite challenge, I guess. It's the same. It's exactly the same. Banana and Sprite challenge, I guess this was the challenge. You eat one banana and gulp down one Sprite, and then you have to vomit, and you can't resist it. That's the same reason. So both ingredients are not bad. And combining both ingredients is not bad for your body. But combining the flavors elevates, empowers one flavor to one extreme point where your body cannot handle it anymore. And says, okay, we have to react to it. The thing is, with banana and Sprite, it's not the flavor in your mouth. It's the receptors within your stomach, within your belly, who reacts to this imbalance of flavors. So it's on another point. The thing is, this stuff, you should not swallow it. So the vomiting reflex happens much earlier, while the banana and Sprite stuff just happens in your stomach, so you can't stop before it's too late. So you can't resist the vomiting. With this, you can still resist it by breathing and countering it with bread and water. Okay, so now that I'm a little bit safe. I'm not safe. I'm not safe! But I'm almost done. So I'm stealing myself. Ah! Show me your moves. This is disgusting. It's sour. It's extremely sour, but not in a refreshing way like a lemon, for example. When you bite into a lemon, you have a shot of sourness followed by bitterness. This is the taste of a lemon. This is just sour, but on a really bad touch. Typically, you are not supposed to eat tomato paste. Rare. You're supposed to cook it. The thing is, tomato paste is just, well, tomatoes, vinegar again, and those are the main ingredients. No tomatoes and vinegar. So we again have vinegar. There is another recipe within the game which contains balsamico vinegar. So the main stuff killing you drinking this is the sourness. The sourness of the drink. And the problem with the mayo is that those are small bombs of sourness getting torn apart within your mouth. This is a problem too with the mayonnaise. The problem here is that it's all sour. So while the mayonnaise blends kinda try killing you in a sneaky way by you drink it, it's not that bad. Then the mayo breaks apart and you have decided and you think, shit, I'm done. This stuff just goes for, it doesn't really care about you, you know? It doesn't want to trick you, it doesn't want to, well, sneak attack you. It just wants to trample you over, just kill you, just Mufasa all over again. Long live the queen, long live the king. The problem is I'm really done for. I can't take another sip because I'm really done for. I have normal coffee here. It's the first mug I had. It's so much better. Normal black coffee is the healthiest coffee because you don't add any more fat and any more sugar to it. So it's really, really healthy. The caffeine is a little bit tricky. The thing is that all my receptors in my mouth are currently overloaded. This is a problem. Because my body told me you should not drink this. And you might say it's not that bad, so you will drink it again. But I won't let that happen. So my mouth and my receptors in my mouth are now on guard to avoid any more crap entering the body. So they are hypersensitive at the moment. So when I further push my receptors to the point where they can't handle it anymore, I'm going to vomit, and I can't avoid it. So the other thing is that my stomach, I almost vomited twice before, so I have cramps within my stomach muscles. This is not really better. So I don't want to further try it. It's much worse. It became worse and worse from beverage to beverage, from blend to blend. So I'm done for. The thing is, I am a chef. I am a learned chef. I can work in kitchens and restaurants as I like. The thing is, if you want me to do more experiments, but also serious stuff regarding cooking on this channel, just tell me. As I mentioned, I know quite my way around coffee and all the other ingredients I use. I know quite a lot, so I can do some interesting recipes out of other games, which actually will taste good. um, if there is interest in it. So just write a comment or tell me, hey, maybe you can do something of shokugeki, or maybe you can make something of, don't know, any game. So whatever, I hope you all enjoyed this. I did not enjoy this because I almost vomited twice. And tomorrow, 6 p.m., I'm going to play Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. We'll start the next project. So I hope you all enjoyed, and until tomorrow, bye. And now I get rid of this horrible stuff. Ah, gosh.